Welcome back, everyone. It's good to be here. We're going to talk about August and September this time, only 2 months instead of the typical 3 in our roadmap updates, and that's because we've got a lot to cover. So, in August, we've got another small-ish update, and I say smallish only because the number of things, not necessarily how much we're packing in there. So the first thing that we'll talk about is we've got more contracts. We've also got another heist update for you guys. This one's going to be cook-off. We did a quick take on some of the bugs that we've got, so we've kind of cleaned up some of the level there. We've also now allowed you to unlimitedly cook meth in cook-off. That feels weird to say. The other thing that we've done is we've taken a pass on the lighting in the level, so it will feel different when you launch into cook-off this time around. And that's because we've got some new functionality under the hood that we're going to start playing with. And what gave us that functionality? Well, the August update also brings with it an update to our game engine where we move from Unreal 4 to Unreal 5. So we talked about this in the past, some many months ago. It's now finally happening. Primary intent for this is to improve our workflows going forward. Down the line, it gives us more tools and the ability to do more in a better way. Worst case, you should see no difference in your performance or your stability, because that was the thing that we really wanted to keep a tight control on. This. Make sure your experience is still solid and stable when you jump in the game. But in best case scenario, some of you actually may see a performance improvement with the upgrade. There will be a kind of initial big download hit, but we think long term this will be beneficial for all of us going forward. Now we're going to jump into September, and this is our 3rd anniversary for Payday 3, so it's a big month for us. It's exciting. We'll get some of the small stuff out of the way, as there will be more contracts, as you'd expect. We're also going to be introducing emotes that we talked about a couple of months ago. They're making their way into the game. You'll be able to earn some of them via those contracts I just mentioned. We'll also have other ways for you to gain access to emotes now and in the future. The next item that we'll touch on is some changes that we're making to weapons that we think you'll be excited about. The first one is we're going to change the way that weapon mods are unlocked and utilized in the game. A big change that we're making is some of the weapon mods will become more universally available. This means that if you have a silencer on one gun and you have the exact same silencer on another gun, if you buy it once for one gun, you have it instantly unlocked on both guns. This won't apply to all mods, but we are trying to streamline the mod experience so that it feels more like when you see it in one place, anywhere else where that exact mod shows up, you'll have access to it. At the same time, if you've bought any of our previous weapon DLCs that include mods, some of those mods will be available on some other weapons going forward, so you get a little bit more like bang for your buck with those purchases. So we have some other interesting weapon changes up our sleeves. So we're going to talk about weapon perks that we're adding to each of the weapon classes. So each class will have a new set of perks that are sometimes locked into that weapon class. Maybe a few are shared with another weapon class. But these are purchased and equipped just like mods are in the game. We're also making an update to iconic weapons, which will either have a unique perk, which makes it different from anything else in the game, or outside of its class-related mods to give it a unique flavor. For any of the weapons that you own, you can jump into the shooting range, select a loadout, and be able to test that weapon on some of the targets that we have in the shooting range. So it's a great way for you to see what does that gun look and feel like, try out some new loadouts, before you jump into a heist. We think it'd be a really fun way for you to kind of see and play with your collection a bit. Another weapon-based tweak that we're making is how you utilize sprays and stickers. We're going away from a consumable system where you buy it once, you use it, and it's gone, to a one-time unlock. So when you get a spray or a sticker and you purchase it, now you'll have it forever and you can use it wherever you want. We'll also be debuting our first paid Crime Bond collection this month called Brute Force, featuring a fan favorite weapon from the past, the Saw, available as an overkill weapon. Just like with the existing Crime Bond collections, this will have a mix of both gameplay and cosmetic rewards. Speaking of cosmetic rewards, we're going to introduce a new type of cosmetic, this time for overkill weapons, so you can customize what that looks like. And we'll start off with the Saw in this Crime Bond collection. Going forward, we'll have more of these for some of the past overkill weapons. But something you can do on all existing overkill weapons right now is equip charms, sprays, and stickers. Something that was previously unavailable for you to do. Now you can customize all of them going forward. For those of you with a lot of renown, we're going to have a way for you to steal some of the items in a Crime Bond. That way, if you want to grab some of those really interesting items but don't necessarily want to buy the entire Crime Bond itself, you'll be able to use your renown to get some of those items. We'll have more details on this going forward, but we think that's a great way for you to try out some things, grind for things that you may want without having to fully commit to full Crime Bond collection. We're also going to talk about a little bit of the gameplay experience and the feel that we have. There are going to be some updates to combat in this update. We've been iterating on ways to improve the combat feel and experience for all of you in 3 ways. The first way is clearer cop spawn directions and groupings. That way you have a better understanding of where cops are coming from, what they're doing, and how many there are, and what the composition is. The second way is better situational cop movement based on what is already happening in the heist. So when they spawn, how they move through the level, how they're reacting to gunfire. That way there's more of an understanding for how they're going to operate within the level. Third way is to make special enemies feel special. We want them to do their special ability more. We want them to feel more like a threat that you need to assess and act on immediately, really making you focus on those enemies as a priority. Ultimately, our intent is that you feel less surprised, more prepared when cops are coming, when you're in a heist, that your loadout will matter depending on who you're going up against and what's happening, and that cops are creating more memorable and intense player moments. We want you to have that kind of oh shit feeling, or I've never seen that happen before, each time you're interacting with them. We want it to feel more unique and more dynamic every time that you're playing. We were pleasantly surprised by the reaction we got to the story elements of the new tutorial that we introduced. And we're going to expand kind of that headspace a bit more as we introduce a new campaign mode. So many of you will be happy to know that we've completely rewritten the story based around existing heists so that the overall story flow feels better and is more clear and more in the forefront for everyone that wants to go through it. You can now play through the heist sequentially and get a better sense of what's going on with the heisters throughout the entire game, something that previously was a bit more hidden. This will be much more clear for all of you, making you more engaged, more immersed in the story and the world of Payday 3. Okay, that's a lot of content so far, but we do have one more thing for you because it is our anniversary and we do love surprises. This is a big one. We're going to be making all of the previously paid Heist DLC available as part of the core experience. This means that everyone will have access to all of our heists available going forward. And that doesn't mean just the existing paid heists, it means any future heists that we may put into the game. We want to unify the player base and let everyone enjoy all of the content that we put out there. So in this update, if you go into your heist selection menu, you'll be able to see all of the heists available for you to start on your own. So if you've never had the chance to play any of the past paid heist DLC, now is a perfect opportunity for you guys to jump in. So because of those changes, because we're rolling all the paid heists into the core experience, that means we're going to delist all of the existing paid heist DLC on August 25th. So you'll no longer be able to purchase it. We want to give you time to get prepared for having all of it available in September. If you own any of the heist DLC, you'll be given an exclusive cosmetic variant weapon. On top of that, depending on which heist you own, you'll have an exclusive special edition version of the base heister mask themed after the heist that you own. You'll be notified of all of these things in-game with a pop-up depending on your ownership. So that's it for this roadmap update. I think you'll all agree that that's a lot. We've got a lot going on. We've put a lot of effort into this stuff. We're really excited for our anniversary. We hope all of you are too, and we'll see you again soon.